Shabbat Shalom. We begin our service the same way we always do, taking a moment of reflection, thinking about the highs and the lows of the week, what we'd like to carry with us into Shabbat, and what we'd like to leave behind. And if there's something good in your life that you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear it. Yes. Grace, you have something to say.
Yes. We're fostering a dog and he's starting to bond with Grace.
Wonderful. Fostering a dog and starting to bond with Grace. Congratulations. Anyone else have something they want to share? No, well, you've noticed that our sanctuary looks a little different tonight. We have 56 Purduettes. That's the right number, right? 56 of you. So we're going to fill the sanctuary with song and their voices, and we're going to hear a lot from them. And Marcy will explain to us also. If we could just turn back to our camera to Roger there to welcome our 10 people. I'm sure more of you are joining who are welcome. And even though you're not part of our physical space, you're part of our service, and we welcome you. Shabbat Shalom. Special shout out to my mom and any of the moms and parents who are watching their Purduettes today too. We continue with our welcoming on page 2 and 3, and Marcy Zeke will lead us in the lighting of the candles. And as you turn there, you'll see on the right side of the page you're going to have Hebrew in translation, and on the left side of the page you're going to have alternative readings, and we sort of alternate from both of them.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Talk amongst yourselves.
Marcy, just switch out the candles.
Good plan. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivana, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, Sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
With the reading in English on page 8 together. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. You can hold that spot in your prayer book as we flip to page 344 with Shir Chadash. Continue welcoming Shabbat back on page 20, welcoming the Sabbath as if she were a bride, L'chadodi.
On page 26. Yitkadah v'yikadash shemei Rabbah Ve'almad yivrach yirtei v'yamlich machutei V'chayechon v'yomecha Uv'chayerecho beit Yisrael V'agalav yizman karim v'yimeru Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam olam me'omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh v'yitadahar v'yitaleh v'yitalah Shemei Kedusha leolam yinkol birchata v'shirata tushbechata nechemata Damiram be'alma v'yimeru. Amen.
We continue with our call to worship, Baruch Hu, on page 28, as we rise together. Standing as we continue together in the English on the bottom of page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. We continue responsively on the bottom of page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Then this holiest of your works in the living language that gives it form. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odzecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha b'shinatam levanecha b'ribat bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha havatzarach Uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha, ukshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'yisharecha, l'mahan tizkeru, v'asitam ekol mitzvotai, v'hitam kadoshim l'elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiyot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Page 39 at the top. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. We continue with Micha Mocha, page 40. Teenager or are not part of the world of teenagers, then you may not know that 'tis the season of the great college waiting game. Acceptance letters, rejection letters, we like you but we need to wait a little bit letters. I teach the senior seminar at Kulanu, the Jewish Reform High School in town. And every Sunday night we meet and we check in about how the week has gone. For most of the students, a good week is based on what information they have found out for the many schools they applied to. And when the negative letter comes, in their ears, true or exaggerated, the question that all adults are asking them goes from, so what are you going to do next year? To, what are you going to do next year? Of course, those of us who are a bit more seasoned know that the question of, what are you going to do with your life? Isn't limited to a college choice or life after high school. The what are you doing with your life question happens one's entire life. In college, about your major. It happens in your career, relationships, family planning, and retirement. And most of us have very little clue. Part of it is that none of us can predict the future, which is shocking, I know. Part of it is that we have very different ideas of success. And the other part of it is that we are fueled by our own gifts and passions that direct us towards a goal that we may or may not be able to define. When things don't go the way we planned, when rejection or failure or illness or loss happen, one of the things that many of us get asked is, well, if you don't follow this dream, what else would you do? I remember that being one of the questions in my HUC Rabbinical School interview panel. They asked me, if you weren't going to be a rabbi, what else would you do? I didn't know how to answer the question, because the fact is I could do plenty of things with my life besides the rabbinate, jobs that may be more lucrative or grandiose or kept easier hours. But that's not why I became a rabbi. I became a rabbi because I was called to be a rabbi. And that call continues every day. There's nothing else in the world that I can be. No other way to feel quite as fulfilled. And even though it's hard at times and a little bit frustrating, it's what fuels me. Or at least that's the way it feels at this point in time in my life. And I know I'm not alone in this feeling. You who follow your passions in music or art, environment, medicine, law, family, it isn't because you couldn't think of something better to do. You follow the path because it's part of you. It is your passion, your essence, your driving force. I also know that following one's passion can feel like a luxury. Life's details still need to be managed, and right now you may be saying to yourself, sure, Rabbi, following my dream is great and all, but there's still laundry to be done, and food to be made, and taxes to be filed. Right, Ellen? I think we can do both. We can pick up our dry cleaning, earn a living, pick up the carpool, and live out the passions in our life that fuel us. And we do so by looking within, assessing our unique personal gifts, the things we're amazing at, what we love, what brings us energy, and then look back at the world, finding that the gifts we possess overlap with the needs of our community. And we have the ability to make a difference by using our gifts wisely to heal our world. In fact, ignoring our gifts, our passions, is a dangerous thing. Concentrating only on the practical leaves us numb, fearful, and unsatisfied with our lot. The opposite is true as well. Living only our dreams with no thought to the implications of paying our mortgage, supporting our children, or our retirement only leads us to our passions being sullied by impracticality and potentially slowing down the pace of the good we can do with our gifts. The trick in the balancing of the everyday and the passions which fuel us lie completely in the allies we have on our journey. Family, friends, colleagues, teachers, students, even the accepting and affirming stranger. These are the people who remind us that we are on the right path. We cannot be our greatest selves all on our own. Not a single one of us is that strong. Not even Moses. In Parashat Yitro, this week's Torah portion, soon after the miracle of the parting of the seas, Jethro, a Midianite priest and Moses' father-in-law, shows up for a visit. Moses regales him with the stories of the plagues, of the race against time with matzah on our backs, and the discovery of manna to support the Israelites in the long journey in the desert. Jethro is impressed and tells Moses that God is pretty amazing. They offer a sacrifice, and Jethro starts to prepare to go to sleep. But not Moses. No, Moses is standing, barely, totally exhausted, as he listens to the needs, settles the disputes, and counsels the people who are all lined up to speak with Moses all day and night. So Jethro steps in and says, "The thing you do is not good. You will surely wear yourself out, both you and this people that is with you. For the thing is too heavy for you. You will not be able to do it alone." And Moses listens. And the first human justice system is organized based on artful delegation. Moses is driven by his connection to God. He brings the people Israel out of Egypt with fanfare, but in order to sustain that level of leadership, that passion for divine mission, he shares his journey with other people. The delegation that Moses creates makes it possible for him to live his dream. Those judges and priests believed in Moses' dream of the promised land and helped make that happen through shared responsibility. Even Moses couldn't do it alone, and neither can you, neither can I, neither can any of us. We each have the ability to do something seemingly impossible in our lifetime. We are equipped with natural gifts that we must use wisely in this world, and all of us are called to live out our passion. On our journeys to our own individual promised lands, there's only one way to combat the not knowing, to face the future, to hear our call so that it may be lived fully, and that is through the care and support of one another. Our Hashkivenu prayer speaks of the darkness in the world, the many, many things we are scared of. The prayer also offers us a solution to the fear and suffering in this world. Connecting to other human beings, investing energy in community, reaching out to others, brings us closer to wholeness. It is our duty as people of faith to help one another see light in dark times, encourage people we love to pursue dreams, and to exercise balance, to encourage creative responses to the question, what are you doing with your life? By cultivating the brightest impulses in each of our lives to fuel our passion and drive each of us towards a peaceful, more whole world. We call to mind the people in our lives who help us be our best selves as we sing together the Hashkivenu prayer on page 42. Continue with Vishamru on page 44, acknowledging the joy of passing Shabbat from one generation to the next, just as we do this evening. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat L'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו continue with tefillah as we rise together on page 46. Be seated as we continue together at the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57 at the bottom. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, sha'orcha levadcha bir'ah na'avod. We continue with our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, on page 60. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasihim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasihim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. we pray for healing in the greater world, we think about those in our family, our friends, and our immediate community who are in need of healing in body, mind, and spirit. We think about those who are in nursing facilities, those who are in hospitals, and those who are in their own homes. We also pray for those who struggle with deep grief and who struggle with addiction. We include in our prayers also those who bring healing into this world, the doctors, the nurses, the therapists, the caregivers, the family, and friends. If you'd like to mention someone's name out loud who's in need of healing, we'll start here and go nice and slowly, so anyone who'd like to share a name may do so. Cookie Aronoff, Mira Barner, Sheila Boniface, Jerry Fish, Aaron Glazer, Inga Goldberg, Irv Greenstein, Ethan Kadish, Lou Kaplan, Kitty Cohn, Yael Kraus, Jan Kravitz, Esther Harmony, Brad Levy, Lou Levy, Joan Little, Carol Maslin, Melissa Maslin, John McCready, David Rose, Daniel Rothschild, Kathy Schwartz, Iris Sham, Dawn Shear, Flora Slatt, Einav Silverman, Kathy Simon, Sherman Weinstein, Yehuda Ben Aharon, Deli Ziegler, Charlie Spector. We include everyone we mentioned out loud, those we hold in our hearts, and all of us as part of this service, because we're all on a journey towards healing in some way. We'll continue on page 253 if you'd like to follow along with me. Misha Berach Avotenu V'Imotenu, Avraham Yitzchak V'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah, V'Varech Et HaCholim Ha'eleh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem, L'chach L'imam Ufatam Chazikam, V'Yishlach Lahem Meher Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, Hashta Bagala Ubizman Kariv, V'nomar Amen. Misheberach Avotenu, Mekor HaBracha before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach Imotenu, Mekor HaBracha the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We take a few moments for silent prayer, either with the words of your prayer book or the words of your heart.
In the corners of my mind, I just can't seem to find a reason to believe that I should break free. But you see, I have been down for so long. Seems like all hope is gone. But as I lift my hands, I understand that I should praise you through my circumstances.
Shackles off my feet
So I can dance. I just want to praise you. I can't lift my hands.
I'm gonna praise you.
Everything that could go wrong all went wrong at one time. So much pressure fell on me. Thought I was gonna lose my mind. Lord, I know you wanna see if I can hold on through these trials. But I need you to lift this load, 'cause I can't take it no more. So I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. I lift my hands, yeah. Through the fire and the rain, bound in every kind of way. God has broken every chain, so let me go right now. To the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I can lift my hands. Praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
Shackles off my feet so I can dance.
So I can dance.
I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise
I just wanna praise you.
Broke the chains,
Now I can lift my hands. I can lift my hands.
gonna praise you.
I'm gonna praise you.
Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance.
So I can dance.
Praise you. I just wanna praise
I just wanna praise you.
the chains, now I can lift my hands.
I can lift my hands.
Praise you.
I'm gonna praise you.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome everybody to our Shabbat service. And I'd like to thank the Purduettes for their performance. I thought they did a great job. I'd like to also thank all of our Purdue friends that are here. We have several of them, and the Purduettes are touring Cincinnati for the weekend as well. And Marcy will tell you more about that. I'd like to thank Barry Ostern for ushering. And also Mark Bailey for supporting this and working with Jeff and Sarah as well. And then last but not least, Roger Roth for streaming this. We had about 20 online. It grew pretty quickly. The rabbi had guessed that people were getting on a little late, so I'm sure it's a bit more than that before I walked up here. Announcements on the back. It's getting close to Purim. Our spiel is March 4th. We have Seders coming up, the Women's Seder on March 10th. So we're entering the next holiday cycle and GPS is also going doing a brown bag launch and doing a PBS series film. I'm going to ask Marcy to talk a little bit and then give the prayer for our community. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. The Purduettes are my favorite ladies in the world. Many of you know that. They are the varsity women's chorus of Purdue University. Tonight, the rabbi talked about balance in your life, balancing passion and practicality. These ladies exemplify that. There is no music major at Purdue. As they say, they are all going pro in something else, and yet they find time to pursue their passion with excellence. Thank you very much, ladies. They will be here in the Cincinnati area all weekend. Tomorrow night, if you would like to see them in a big concert, tomorrow is a good opportunity to do so. They will be singing downtown at St. Xavier at 7:30 p.m. It's $10 a ticket for 90 minutes. It's a great deal. Tonight, their presence is made possible by our Siegel Endowment Fund. We have that fund for extraordinary musical events, just like this one, and without that fund, this night would not be possible. May Adonai, the source of life, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless this entire congregation of Temple Shalom, together with the synagogues of Cincinnati and all holy congregations in this world. Bless our community, our children, our families, and all that is theirs, along with those who unite to establish synagogues for prayer and those who enter them to pray, those who devote countless hours of their lives so that our synagogue may be a thriving place of spiritual welcoming. May the Holy One reward those who contribute to our community with healing, forgiveness, and personal strength. May God bless them by prospering all their worthy endeavors, as well as those of the entire people Israel. And let us say, Amen.
Thank you for all of you for being here, and thank you to Marcy and Bob Zeke for making this evening possible for us. The dinner, afterwards we'll have challah and kiddush like we always do, and dinner is for anybody who is already signed up. There's limited spaces, but that's what's happening then. And one last thing I wanted to mention before we begin the conclusion of our service is Lou Levy. Lou, will you stand up for a second? Lou's turning 95 next week. We love that you're part of our congregation. We celebrate with you, and we hope for many years ahead of health and happiness and continue to be part of our community. Thank you. Happy birthday. Right? Pretty awesome. We begin the conclusion of our service on page 282. And when you reach that page, please rise. It's 282 at the bottom. Please be seated as we continue on page 288. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking in the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved, and if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We mourn the recent passing of Sylvia Spector. We commemorate the yardside, the anniversaries of the passing of Hannah Grossman, Silla Rothenberg, Joseph Winter, Etta Elbogen, Eli Mitnick, Adele Lauber Waldman, Deborah Sue Wick, Max Wolfson, Herbert Glazer, Sarah Glazer, Helen Hazan, Samuel Mandelbaum, William Arm, Marion Bannon, Michael Evers, Casilda Reed Miller, Beulah Altman, Helena Goldsmith, Sam Grossman, Beatrice Schonenweiss, Daniel T. Apple, Emma Faye Arnold, Werner Friedman, Harold Pat Goldberg, Ida Sobel, Alfred Blinder, Solomon Reich. If you are remembering someone tonight or would like to repronounce a name, please share those names now. And if you are in mourning or commemorating a yard-side, please rise first. We acknowledge you and we mourn along with you as we rise together as a community in memory of all those we said out loud, those we carry in our hearts, and for all those who have known to say Kaddish for them, as we continue on page 294 with Kaddish Yatom, our prayer of memory. Yitkadal v'kadash shemei rabba, v'alma tivrach hiroteh v'amlich machuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh zacho be'Yisrael, v'galau v'zman kari v'imru, Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Omei Omaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei Kedusha Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tish Bechata V'nechamata T'amiram V'alma V'imrum Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imrum Oseh Shalom B'imromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Oseh Shalom B'imromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru, Imru, Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Please be seated. We'll conclude on page 330. Shmera Shabbat El Yishmereni Ki Shmera Shabbat El Yishmereni Oti Leomea Yishmera Shabbat El Yishmereni. Before we go off to our challah and to our kiddush, to our wine and our bread, if you could connect to one another to receive a blessing, and if you don't feel like it, that's okay too. And if you're online, you can stick your hands up. Oh, look at Roger and Bob, so sweet. For those online, they're holding hands behind that camera, very sweet. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav alecha v'chunecha. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And when God's light does shine upon you and fills your heart with song, may you remember that this community is here for you and part of you, and that you contribute to it so that we can go out and make this world a better place, because each of us are in it, and together we say, Amen and Shabbat Shalom.